10 minutes looking for a picture.
Hey, bro, that's how we gotta set the tone.
We gotta set the tone.
I gotta be in the vibe. All right, I'm good now. It's recording already, so like whenever we're gonna start, I'll just edit everything out.
Okay, cool.
Now we leave this shit in.
Oh
my God. All right,
Voyager.
Yeah, Voyager. All right, Voyager. Let's go with the intro.
All right, Voyager.
If you really want to, you can use this as a start point. But you can, so you get an intro.
Yeah, it'd be definitely funny to see like the behind the scenes, the bloopers.
Behind the scenes intro.
Yeah. Welcome back to Dolor podcast.
Yeah.
This is Voyager and my brother Jedi sitting right next to me.
Yo.
And this next person we have is a very special friend that I've encountered in a little amount of almost maybe 2 years. I kind of want to remember the first time we actually met, but we'll get back into that. So when I first started hearing about him, it was through George Mass Attack. And I started hearing his music just because from George and sharing it and everything. So when I started listening to his music, SoundCloud, I think during that time he didn't have too many songs on Spotify. I'm not sure. But I started digging more deep, and then hearing old tracks, old albums. Sorry, I'm not very specific. I don't remember the specific names about them because that's how I am. If you know me, you know I'm always asking like, "What is this? What is that?" Because I'm very forgetful. But I just remember listening to the music, and I'm like, dude, this guy has some badass. Like one thing I'm always impressed by first are beats. So I'm like, man, this guy's beats are amazing. That's what attracts me at first. And then second, you start hearing fucking lyrics, and you start hearing what he's saying and melodies and how he one thing I'm a fan of too is somebody that could flip, that could like give you like one thing they're rapping, and one part of their rapping, and then the other part they start singing and just harmonize. That's why one of my favorite bands is Bone Thugs and Harmony, because they're like they know how to harmonize and rap and all that. So I definitely got attracted right away. And then when I started meeting you through events, I just started connecting to you as a person and hearing you out, you hearing me. And then I remember you did the first part of your release, Daybreak. It was at 93 Studios. And man, it was amazing. I think I've probably met you a couple times before this, like in person, and to see you there and how excited you got seeing us there. My Jedi was there too also, and I remember like just being there and like seeing the whole experience. It was a whole experience. It was amazing because everybody was doing their own thing, and then finally when we're gonna hear the tracks, we all got into a pretty much a circle within the building, and then you had the projector, and then you had the music going, and then you started playing your album. And before then, what we couldn't actually said that we could tell now is he actually listened to both albums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but during that time, it was more low key. It was like, all right, if you know, you know. And then, so just to see everything in full circle is amazing. And so that's why I'm saying this is my brother. And this all happened within the 2 years. And this is amazing, man. I also met his wife that day at the event. His kids. It's like I know this guy on a personal level. So he's an amazing artist called Sebastian Peace.
Yeah. My man. My man.
That was one hell of an intro.
It was. Yeah, he took us through
bro. He took us on a voyage.
He took us on a voyage. Yeah.
My boy Sebastian, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thank you guys for bringing me along this voyage. I really appreciate the kind intro, the kind words. Yes, Jedi and Voyager are family to me, man. This podcast that you guys are embarking on is going to be one of a kind, and I appreciate you guys bringing me on. Like Voyager reached out to me and like, hey, I need you on the podcast. There's no saying no to that, man. So I'm, you know what I mean. I'm always gonna be here. But yeah, man, I I know you guys on a personal level as well. Everything that you're doing, from the clothes to the podcast to the whole lifestyle, man. It's very positive, and it's always a good feeling knowing that your homies are doing what they always wanted to do. So I appreciate you. You guys are showing me the ways.
Thank you,
and
man.
Thank you.
Hopefully I can return the favor.
Yeah. To piggyback off of Voyager, I just met you recently, within the past year.
Yeah.
It was my first ever musical experience of Sebastian Peace was at 93 Studios.
That's right. Yeah, you met me at the listening
You invited
party.
me, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll give him a taste. I didn't want to spoil it. I didn't want to go check your music out first.
Okay.
I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm going to go there
Yeah.
blind. I'm going to go nice and baked.
Good,
And
good approach.
I'm gonna see, and I'm gonna see if this man, whatever he gives me, let's see. So me and Voyager were talking. You took us on a musical voyage. You took us on. It was from my perspective. You took us on. You were like a painter. You Bob Rossed our ass
Yeah,
for real,
bro.
but musically and verbally.
Okay.
Exactly.
He likes beats.
Uh,
I like lyrics.
okay.
I like the lyric. You're telling me a story, I'm in. The
Yeah.
Nas, you're telling me a story, and
Right.
you have some. Okay, I'm in. So not only did you have like lyrical content, but no, like Voyager said, it was more like not club hits, but it was cross genre. It wasn't just one single. I'm just gonna battle rap the whole.
Yeah.
No,
It was
music. It was
everywhere.
singing. It was
Yeah.
Reggae and shit, man.
rhythmic. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, this man has some musical skill and talent.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were just a rapper. My apologies. You know, I
You're
was
good.
blind. I really didn't know you. I really didn't know the music. So it was pretty cool, man. So what made you get into music? Take me way back. You're gonna Bob Ross my ass again. So as best as possible. What made you get into music? Very young age, whatever. Give me
Yeah.
the whole shebang.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but he wants me to. Bob Ross, the little happy mistakes. You know what I mean? It was just a happy. But no, I appreciate that. Thank you again, man. Again, meeting you at the listening party was.
Shout out
was a-
Shape and everybody.
Shout out, yeah.
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
Shape.
Shape,
Shout out
93
Cortez.
Studios,
Shout out
Cortez.
And you know what? It's funny that you bring that up. Is because the reason why that place means a lot to me is Daybreak was probably. I recorded probably like 70% of it there.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that was kind of the birthplace of Daybreak. So that's
That's
why
what's up, man.
I had there was no other place in my mind other than to kind of like have it there, you know.
Yeah.
So and Shape and Cortez were like, yeah, bro, they'd be honored to host it and to be there. But actually, Cortez wasn't there; he was there in spirit. But Shape really held it down. Yeah. To get back to that question, man. Honestly, I've been doing rap for about, man, a little over. Man, I'm gonna be 32 this year. So a little, I want to say maybe good 13, 14 years. Yeah,
That's over 10,000 hours.
Facts. Yeah,
yeah.
it's way over. I think I'm just clocking in at good 10K hours, but I don't want to say that to kind of like say that I've been doing it straight for that many years, but life kind of got in the way for some of the years, and but initially to say where I started from was I had my cousin who was a really big hip hop fan. I was maybe like 13, 14. He exposed me to showed me MF Doom.
Ooh.
And
The man with the mask.
The man with the
Ooh.
mask. And
Lyrical.
it changed my life
beyond lyrical.
Beyond, but
It was
it changed my
upside
life
down
in
lyrics.
it changed my life in an aspect to where it wasn't just Doom wasn't just music. He was a culture. It's like graffiti meets rap meets cartoons.
Art.
Art exactly.
Yeah.
It was just all kind of cultivated in one basis. So when he exposed it, I think he had a physical copy of Doomsday.
Ooh.
And he gifted it to me, and he was like, hey, because he was playing. I was in his. I remember he had a PlayStation 1. I was playing Resident Evil 1 in his room. I remember it was a PS1. I was playing it, and he was playing the music, and I kept asking him, who is this? Like, what's playing? And he's like, oh, la, la, So at the end of the day, my mom was like, all right, you gotta go. We gotta get out of here. And my cousin was like, you know what? Hold on to it. Keep it.
Oh,
And that
shout out to him.
Shout out to Matthew, my cousin.
Hell yeah.
He's
Hey, Matthew.
If you hear,
You get an applause, brother.
yes. So shout out to him. And I just remember taking it home and really like dissecting. And from there, it kind of like tumbled into MF Doom was like Nas, because I always knew, I knew who Tupac was, I knew who Biggie was, but I personally kind of like attached to MF Doom in a different way. And
Why do you think that is?
like you said, the wordplay, it was just very like show tune-ish. And I grew up with like that Cartoon Network and like all that kind of you remember Toonami?
Toonami.
You know what I mean? Like all that was just like my childhood. So he kind of put his music kind of around that, and I was just so adapted to it. So so MF Doom kind of sparked, things within me. And then my first album I bought for sure was Linkin Park. Linkin Park's first album, and then I was a real big like Mike Shinoda fan.
Yes,
like, I was just and then
we just
after
became best friends.
and then right.
Pause the podcast.
So and then like after Linkin Park, they released a hip hop album called Reanimation.
That's one of my favorite CDs of
all time, and that's
yes,
it. And
absolutely.
I would kind of urge anybody, if you're listening and you're a Linkin Park fan and you haven't heard of Reanimation, go check that for yourself. Please, it'll change your whole view. Rest in peace to Chester, but
love and respect.
Love and respect, right? And so Reanimation kind of sparked like the production side of my ear, because Mike Shinoda was a producer as well as like the rap. He's the genius behind Linkin Park, bro. Like Chester was obviously the
Amazing
voice,
vocals.
amazing vocals. But without Mike Shinoda, there would be no Linkin Park. And so
man.
so that, and then kind of to push forth in that, I think around that time I'm maybe 15, 16, I'm in high school. I'm hearing people rap. I get kicked out of my house. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're hearing this. I love you. Mom kicked me out. I was just doing terrible at school. Mom kicked me out. I went to go live with my uncle. And as soon as I got to live with my uncle, that's when I just kind of like started writing. That's when I was like my writing period.
Shit.
And I just remember like I was flipping shoes at the time. Like, I don't know, I had this real weird shoe obsession. This was like before sneakerheads was kind of like a thing, So I was flipping shoes, and I remember I had at least like maybe 700 from flipping Jordans and shit,
Wow.
And then
How old were you?
I was like 15, 16.
This is money, bro.
Money, right? And this is not like I wasn't gonna like. And honestly, I was such a dumb teen that I didn't know about drugs. Like I could have. You know what I mean? Like I could have flipped a pound or something. You know what I mean? And it was good though, because I took that money and my uncle was like, "All right, if you're really gonna excel in life, you're gonna have to make sure you know what you want to do and do what you love." And I bought a laptop from Best Buy. Actually, no. I bought a laptop. I think Circuit City was still around.
Damn,
Circuit City.
Yes. I bought a laptop from Circuit City over there in South Chicago. Boom, came back home. I downloaded a cracked version of Fruity Loops, and then that's when like my production side of me just kind of like started grabbing samples and
funny thing is that the actual laptop that I was working with right there, that was the laptop that I bought with my tax income when I wanted to start designing.
Wow.
And it's still there, still alive. And I also pirated the Photoshop.
Yeah, the Adobe.
Allegedly. And then and that's what inspired everything. I just started learning from scratch everything. So it's funny, not funny, but it's not really funny, just coincidental. It's like, it's amazing to hear that story, Yeah. So man, that throws me back.
Yeah,
when I started, So.
And I would tell anybody, a young creative, if you're listening right now, or if you're kind of interested in doing what you love, don't feel ashamed that you kind of have to go through the loops or the hoops of getting something that you really want. Like I couldn't have been ashamed, thinking like, all right, well, I'm over here pirating something, and well, if you had money to buy the laptop, why you had money to pay for it? No, I mean there was means for, and if I really wanted to do it and I really wanted to pursue it, like there it is, it's there for me. It's there's the key. I just got to put it in the door hole and open it up. But that's why I tell anybody trying to start this, like just do it. Just start it. Just kind of jump into it.
When I was trying to get way back when I first was trying to get my personal training cert, back then you had to buy a whole kit.
Yeah,
and it was about $800 to $1,200 just for the kit. Wow. And then you have to take the test. And I'm like, man, let me hop on LimeWire real quick. Hold on. I allegedly found everything.
Allegedly.
And one of my friends allegedly worked at a printing press, and he gave me all the books. So I call it hack the planet. You know what I mean?
You have to, yeah.
And if, in my eyes, if you have a calling or a passion or anything, don't let anything step in your way. You know what I mean?
Not a thing.
And sometimes people in our area, which I want to touch base with, people in our area, we don't have the means sometimes financially.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But what we're noticing, that don't stop nobody.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
And there's other ways to get money besides robbing and stealing.
Absolutely.
For the thieves, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there's other ways, and now Hack the Planet, there's ways via computer or whatever to
make it happen.
Yes,
Oh,
make
yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
So hey, don't feel sorry, man.
Yeah,
don't run that shit.
Right.
Allegedly. Run the jewels.
Right.
Hey, if you're from
Allegedly.
Chicago, there's something going on behind
There
the
has to
scenes.
be. Bro. There has to be.
Allegedly.
Where did you grow up? If you want to touch base on that,
Man, I'm honestly, I'm a mutt. So my mom was born and raised in the North Side. She was actually from Humboldt Park. Met my dad out there in the North Side. I was born in Humboldt Park at Norwegian American, that little hospital in Humboldt Park. Now I say that just because, like, I'm full blood Puerto Rican if you're born in Humboldt Park.
Yeah.
So I was born in Humboldt Park. Moved around the North Side for a while until like my mom met my dad. My stepfather. My biological father passed away, but she met my stepfather, who's my dad, by the way. But met them, and then that's when my dad was actually from out here. My father, he's from South Chicago, so he brought my mom out here to the East Side. So I moved to 107th when I was like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6, and then since then just kind of been kicking in the East Side. My mom and my dad, they moved out to Hegwish, so Hegwish, East Side. So but East Side's always been in my blood, man. Like I've been here for a long time. Went to school out here, kicked it out here. I got friends out here, I got family out here. So East Side is my my home, my permanent home. This may not be my for sure home. I do plan on if I can't find a house in the East Side, I might just have to kick rocks in Indiana. But that's just the voyage.
Yeah.
That's just
It's
the
a
voyage. You know what I mean?
Voyage.
It's just
But your heart's still here, man.
It always is going. And that's the
heart's
thing.
there.
Like my heart's always gonna be in the East Side. They showed me so much love.
Oh man.
And you definitely rap, man.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like most of these songs, just recording, being able to. And I really thought about it. Like I had every chance to kind of like be in the studio up north, be in the studio, in downtown in the South Loop. I got homies that are engineering out there, studios I can go to. But like being able to be at 93 Studios, in an art studio with my homies creating art in the other room, and then me just kind of like making this music in the same area in my neighborhood, that just made it so much more sweeter.
That's so dope.
And that's something that I love that 93 Studios brings out, man, because they have created such a beautiful artistic energy in there. That it just makes you want to create, bro. And it's not, and it's almost like on a spiritual way, bro.
Yeah, it's infectious, man.
You're in there and you just want to create yourself.
Yeah.
Like Alan from the barbershop, that day we did the Chronic drop there. He went in there and he kept saying like, I've been always wanted, like I always used to love how to draw, like want to draw because everybody was drawing.
Yeah.
And they were sitting down tables drawing with all the markers they have around.
Yeah.
And I told him, Go do it. They didn't take
And
nothing but
he threw a nice, beautiful fucking piece up. I'm like, oh, you haven't what do you mean you haven't practiced? This is dope as hell.
bro. It didn't take nothing but 10 minutes for him to be like, boom, and he put something together, and we're like, man, this. But again, it goes back to 93 Studios have that kind of energy there.
Yes,
and thanks. Shout out again to Shade,
shout out
Cortez,
them.
Cosmo, Roman, Maria, man, all of them. What's Cortez's girl's name?
Maggie.
Yeah, her
she
too,
created.
bro.
Oh my.
All of them.
She's almost done with it. She's been working on this piece for, I don't know, maybe like 2-3 years.
Oh yeah,
she's almost done with it. Like just to see
that's a wild piece.
Yes,
man.
just to see the the days go by and the transitions that she's like. And that's why I really big up a lot of artists, because it's not easy, man.
No.
You know, I mean, we got lives on the side of what we love to do.
Exactly.
And I'm just blessed I'm able to do this. Like, shout out my wife. She's another she's like trying to she's a dance teacher. She's trying to get her way into show business. She was on Chicago PD. She was on Chicago 5.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So she's like she's just as hungry for this arts as I am. And that's why she supports me so much. She's like really kind of pushing me to be like, all right, this is what you love to do. And then that's also going to kind of rub off on my kids. My kids are going to be able to see this and be like, okay, Dad really grinded for what he wanted and what he believed in. And that's never going to change, man.
Wow.
Never, so.
Has music been an outlet for you?
Yeah. That's a good question. That's a real good question.
Because you told me you were writing. And usually writing... So what I noticed talking to a lot of people, there's a lot of similarities. That's how I call it.
Yeah.
So writing is a form of journaling.
Yeah.
Journaling is a form of expressing yourself.
Absolutely.
And it could be in a positive way, in a mental way, in an angry way.
It's a therapy.
It's a therapy.
It's a therapy.
Yes. That's a positive outlet.
Yeah.
And you're just putting it in a musical form.
Yeah.
So I look at you similar as I look at a Shape or a Cortez. They're creating something we're visually seeing.
Yeah.
You're creating something we're audio hearing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
a different,
sonically,
but
yeah.
you're still creating it. The process is very similar. You
Yeah.
take time. You develop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It comes from wherever it comes from. Wherever their idea comes from, space. You have an idea. Now, how do you take that idea and you portray it either on film, on paper, on Spotify, on YouTube? How you create it, and to see that is pretty cool. So, in my eyes, when people come from a certain area, that's why I asked.
Yeah.
They usually turn to something to express themselves in a way they can't usually express themselves.
Right.
So that's why I asked, what has music, has it been an outlet for you, or is it something you dived into and like, yo, I like this wave?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Absolutely. Like even being younger, I was always like in art programs in high school, even in grammar school. My aunt put me in a program that they took kids to. I was like somewhere in South Shore, but like we were able to make we were able to like make mosaics, and I was exposed to that stuff at a young age. So
Beautiful.
like in high school, I used to do the after school matters with I'd go to downtown. They got like a building in downtown where like they take kids from high school and just kind of like show them art programs, and like if they graduated, if they stick to these programs, they'll be able to go to art school. So like AIC, SAIC, like Art Institutes of Chicago's and stuff. It's a really good program. So being in that program, being in the arts really showed me to like express myself visually, So like I would always kind of like create pieces to where like it's how I was feeling. At a young age, I was never really a writer. Like I kind of was like I loved poetry. Like I love, my mom would like, she was really big on like listening to Lauryn Hill. You know what I mean? So like, just kind of like those sounds, and then like being very vulnerable in your music. I was growing up on that.
That makes sense with your style.
Yeah. So like and then like I want to say that I didn't really start writing till I got out of high school, and I was really going through some some things, you know, like walking through some tough stuff.
Yeah.
But then also using it as a form of, because it's like with artists now, we're real vulnerable. We put our things out in an intention to kind of heal ourselves, but we also hurt ourselves in a way because we almost want people to feel the same things we felt when we wrote that or created that. You know what I mean? We almost long for that. We almost long for that kind of like relatability feeling. Me personally, I was just talking, you know, with you guys about this earlier. I've had a number of shows where I've performed and then I'd have people come up to me like, man, like what you said on that song, I felt that, you know, and it just like it stuck with me because it's like I almost have like a duty when I write, or I almost have like a how would you call it? I almost have like a purpose to when I write to kind of give you a service of feeling how I felt when I wrote that. Or I got this song called Save Me.
Ooh.
And that is a really big that is I call that like my therapist song, because I say a lot in that song. And I say a lot. I almost oversay things what I wasn't supposed to say. I almost opened up a page in my journal or my diary and wrapped it out and gave it to you.
Ooh.
And a lot of people hear it and a lot of people experience it differently. And it's always kind of just like, man, what you said hit me really hard, because I was just like, and another thing is like when I wrote Save Me, I didn't put it out until maybe like 5 or 6 years after.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So,
you weren't feeling it?
No, it wasn't that. It was just kind of like I felt like it wasn't time. I feel like my feelings, if I would have put it out right when I wrote it, I wouldn't have felt as satisfied. I kind of put it out I wrote it in a very terrible time in my life, and I put it out at a very high time in my life.
Wow. That's
So it balanced me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It kind of gave me a way to be like, okay, well, you know, this song, this is what I was going through, and this is where I'm at. And it was like a testimony in a way to show people. And when I love that. And the feedback that I got from that song was very, I was just very honored because, like I said, people experience it in a different way. And I feel like that song is also a time capsule, because I can maybe play it another 10 years from now, and I still feel the kind of same ways, or I want people to still feel like, okay, I'm going through this.
How do you... Oh, my bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. No.
How do you handle people coming up to you and telling like, yo, because this is your personal journal that you're sharing with us, that you're putting your heart and soul into words, and then on stage or wherever when you're performing, you're kind of pouring your heart out to whoever.
Yeah.
How does it feel when someone comes up to you like, yo, son, that shit hit me right in the feels? How do you take that? You know what I mean?
I don't know, and it's a mixed feeling, because when I hear things like that, it just brings me joy knowing that this is what I do it for. You know what I mean? I do it, and I don't do it just for a reaction. I do it for the people that are like, you know what? Yesterday I was going through something really bad, but I heard one of your songs, and today I feel much better. That kind of like puts me in an axis to where it's like now it's like I know what I have to do, I know what I have to say, but also it's like we're all living life together. You know, we're all living life on Earth right now on a spinning rock, going through the universe. You know what I mean? Like we're all here together.
Yeah, that's wild.
You know, and it's a
we don't think about that,
exactly,
but we are.
And you're not lying, but but what I'm saying is that, you know, we all bleed the same.
Yeah.
You know, it goes to like the biggest quote. I don't want to quote scripture, but like what it is like, anything that bleeds is not my enemy. I don't know why people are going throughout their life having grudges or having like hating people for whatever reason they have in their mind. We all are going through this life together. We all are kind of learning together. We all have
this voyage together.
Exactly. We are on this voyage together.
But it's all it's hard because it's a mindset, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the hard thing, because I'm like as positive as I am. When I'm in a fucking bad place in my mind, I see everything darker than what it is.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's like
the dark side of the force
yeah,
trying to get a hold of us, man.
Exactly.
It's the Sith.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why, I view you as an artist, like a Shape, like a Cortez, like a Maggie, because not only are you're self-healing, you're also like a musical therapist.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because what you are putting out there, your personal story, this is your story. You're telling the shit that you went through, the heartache, the pains, the ups and downs, and someone else might not go through the same thing, but they have a different interpretation. But if they feel it, they feel it. And we talked about music before. Music can fucking heal. Music's universal. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Music's it's been in human history since
universal language.
Yeah. So that's my perspective. It's an artist is a wild individual.
Yes.
It's multifaceted. It's a complex thing. That's why if it's an outlet to you, it's going to be an outlet for somebody else. Yeah. Someone's going to fucking find that and be like, oh, let's hit this repeat, son.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they're a fan for life, or they support you. And that's pretty cool.
And it's like when you said that you tore a page literally out of your diary and you gave it to us.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people that personally probably hit you up maybe even felt like, man, did he rip this out of my life, my fucking diary? You know what I'm saying? On that level of, wow, you capture something that I could feel, but not put in words.
Yeah.
Because that's what music does a lot to me. Like, sometimes I can't put stuff in words, but certain music, lyrics, and just like, wow, you managed to capture this feeling I have.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, I really put myself, and that's why, like, I kind of, as I get older, I realize that my music may not be for everybody, but my music's very intentional, and whoever it's gonna reach, it's gonna reach.
It's gonna hit you.
You know, it's gonna hit you, and I've always loved music that is timeless. You know, music. People don't understand music, film, entertainment. It's really most of it is a time machine. You can watch a movie and it'll bring you back to a certain time in your life, where you literally relive those feelings, or literally relive that day that you saw it, or just anything about that. And that's where I want my music to stand. I want my music to feel like you jumped in a time machine and you went to that time, or you felt that whatever you're feeling at that certain amount of time, that certain area of your life, and you're able to just be there. You're able to be vulnerable, and it's the vulnerability that I'm always gonna give in my music. It's never gonna change, and that's why, like, with this certain album that I'm dropping now, it's a completely different feeling. It's nothing compared to what Daybreak is or what Daybreak was. And it's funny that you brought up that listening party, because you guys literally heard Nightfall a year ago. A year ago. You know, and I was supposed to drop Nightfall not too long after Daybreak. But, you know, life got in the way, and I just
shit happens.
Yeah, and I mean, and on top of that, my engineer saw us. It was just like, bro, like, why don't you just put a good gap between these? Just put a nice, decent gap so people can sit on Daybreak for as long as they want. They can just marinate in the music, and then boom, when Nightfall drops, it's kind of around like the 1 year anniversary of Daybreak.
Oh, nice.
And there you go. So,
and the beautiful thing that connected that day of the event was that I'm a big Mac Miller fan. So the last two albums were supposed to intentionally be together, like a double album, but separated.
Right.
That's why it's called Swimming in Circles. Yeah. Swimming in Circles. So it was connected, and so you did that with your two albums. So Daybreak has more of it's like a chill, alive, like it has that nice, like almost like a reggae song in it that I fucking love. And then Nightfall is just, it makes you feel like you're at night and have specific things you be getting into at night. Like maybe you go to a bar, maybe you're cruising down LSD Drive with the lights on. It just gives you that feeling of night, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful concept, and you did it amazingly.
Thank you.
So to me, you know how much I fucking suffered, because I kept telling you, send me the damn album, and you're like, nah.
He did.
Because I'm like, you hear Daybreak and you're like, you want to hear the other one to like kind of get that feeling back again, you know? But just sitting on it and perfecting it and doing everything the right way, the way you're doing it now.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the process.
Thanks,
and I
man.
love where it's at right now, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you. No, yeah, you put it into perfect words, man. That's just the way I can, and I want people, and even people that came to the first listening party, I feel like they've experienced more than what they came for. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously this music is very subjective. Obviously, you know, we can put it, we can put it in compartments, or we can kind of put it apart from subgenres, genres, whatever.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, music is really always going to give you a feeling. It's always going to give you a thought. And it's always going to give you emotion. So the way that I put my music out is I want you to literally like be submerged in the music. But then at the same time, I want you to like live it out, you know? And my music's always been live. My music's always been very like, I don't put out anything that's like, you would hear a song and be like, man, that's Sebastian. Sebastian's doing that song now, or he's doing that type of music now.
Yeah,
like I don't know. It's not like shocking, you know. So it's like I always know what to stay in my lane, but I always know how to test the sounds. And Nightfall was me testing the sounds.
I liked it.
Nightfall was me testing the kind of testing my lane on where I wanted to go, and like and like even on Daybreak, I was in a different part of my life recording Daybreak than I was in Nightfall. So like that's why you're always gonna get like a different part of me hearing Nightfall, but you're also gonna be like, okay, I see where he was going. I see where the flow was going of, and that's why I've always loved like side A and side B projects. I love it. I love that. I love the fact that you can kind of cut it down the middle, and you can give people a portion. And that's why I meant like with compartments and shit. You know, like I messed up on the fucking word, but you know,
It's all good.
But it's all, to me, it's all a journey. Like, and a lot of music is not journey no more. A lot of music is just like, let's make like beats, let's make money. Yeah, you can just hear cling, ching, ching. That's all you hear pretty much at the end of the day. But there's people that like they take the whole album into a like he said, you Bob Ross dolls, bro.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
Everything, the music, the feeling, the
whole
visuals,
vibe,
the vibe, like how you explain
the
it,
visuals, and then you as a performer, you were explaining it. And when you were explaining it, whether you were singing it or rapping it, you were putting energy out. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? You're not just standing there sitting down like, no, I'm going to tell a story and I'm going to show you how I felt. Yeah. And we were on that voyage and I was, this is very dope. You know what I mean? Because right now we're in your world. Yeah. We're in the world and you're taking us on a journey throughout your life and you're explaining how you feel, your emotions, the ups, the downs. Like, and it wasn't just one thing; it was multiple. Like he was saying, the different vibes, the genres, everything. It was it was a musical, artistic voyage that we were going through. Yeah, and just to be a part of that was dope, man. It's definitely. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. And from then on, I was a fan. I'm like, because you're not just a musician; you're an artist. Yeah, it's multiple layers. Yeah. So, how do you deal with the negativity, if any, that comes with being an artist? Yeah, that's a really good question too, man. Man's been on fire with the questions.
Jedi, bro.
I like, Jedi. He's inquisitive.
I told you.
He's inquisitive.
Well,
you both see Voyager. He's in the fields right now.
Right.
But so honestly, as an artist, I think with the negatives is more internal. It's not coming from the outside world. I think it's more within myself. I dealt with a lot of doubt, you know, before putting out this music. I dealt with a lot of impatience, I guess you could say. So a lot of what we see on like social media, a lot of what we hear, it's all been fabricated from the start. You know, like I've had a homie who was making music at one point, and I was really trying my hardest to kind of mentor him through a lot, because I could see that he was kind of doing it for self-satisfaction. He was kind of doing it for the outer appearance, which you know, at that point, there's nothing completely wrong with it, but you can self-destruct at any point when it comes to when things like that happen. So, I just kind of did the best that I could to coach him into this thing. And I'm not trying to like say that I'm I'm this huge.
You're just helping
guy.
a brother out, man.
Right, and I'm just trying to help somebody out because at the same time, it's like when I was coming up and I kind of came up in like when I was started rapping and coming up in this rap game, I was coming up in a weird place. Like social media really wasn't what it was back when I was trying to do rap. Back like we kind of had like the vlogs, like Fake Short Drive.
Oh yeah, I see the hat, man.
Yeah. Shout out Barber,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's what's up.
Fake Short Drive. There was just a bunch of music vlogs that kind of like were jumping at a certain point, putting underground artists on, but it wasn't what it was now. You know what I mean? Like, and the thing about it is that right now we live in a day and age where I can make a album in my bedroom. Before I would have to go to the studio. I need an A&R. I need producers.
Pay
I
X
need,
amount of dollars.
I need a whole team
Yeah.
to kind of just put this project out. Now
Wow.
I can be in my bedroom.
Yeah.
I can have one laptop and one microphone.
We live in wild times.
We really do. So
Wow.
as far as me, like I always dealt with like I felt like for a certain amount of time, my music wasn't what it should be. Like I said, I dealt with a lot of doubt. I dealt with a lot of I don't know, kind of putting the wrong people around me at a certain point.
Your vibe is your tribe.
Exact. See,
Jedi.
that's a good one. Your vibe is your tribe.
I'll write that down.
You need it. Yeah, that's one for the books right there.
I feel you, man.
I like that. Yeah, and it's like, just like anybody would say, show me who you hang with. That's your future. Yeah. And it's not like I was hanging with, the very wrong crowd, but I feel like the people that were around me weren't supporting me in the ways that I knew I needed that support. Oh. And at one point, at one point in your career or whatever you're trying to do, even when you're just kickstarting something as an artist or whatever you are, support is everything.
Yes.
It really is.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the right support, you're not getting the right feedback, you can be turned in the wrong direction. Wow. And that wrong direction can cost you a long time. Yeah. So, one negative, just one big sticking out of my mind is just kind of just dealing with the wrong people. And I mean, you can't force nobody to see your vision. Yeah. You can't force nobody to be like, okay, do you see this? We're projecting in 2 years. I'm trying to be here. You can't, there's no right person that's going to be like, okay, I see your vision. You just kind of have to move in the right directions, knowing that they're going to help you, push you, guide you. And even when they're lost or when you're lost, you're going to be lost together and figure it out. So just one being like, and that's why I tell people too, like, make sure your team is strong.
Yes.
Make sure your team is very strong. Make sure your team is intentional. Make sure you guys know that at any point shit can hit the fan, and at any point there can be speed bumps along the way. But you got each other's backs, no matter what. And the team that I have now, especially you guys, we just kind of really support each other. We're like, support beams in a house. Without those, without a good foundation in the house, that house gonna crumble, dog. Yeah. It's gonna crumble to shambles. So
with the Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang.
The Woo. Yeah. So I just to kind of run back to what you said. Yeah, the big negatives is just that kind of dealing with the wrong people, wrong crowd, insecurities and doubt. And
I like that it comes, like you said, it comes from the inside. It comes from oneself, the negative. Because you're like, I hear from another podcast where they talk about how they're like, it's your fault for letting it take you there when you're angry or whatever, because you're giving it permission to allow it to make you think like that. Yeah. If you were in a good mindset, they would have, okay, cool, keep it going, Yeah. But when you're in the wrong mindset and you hear something like that, you're allowing it to take over you,
Yeah, you're giving it power.
You're giving it the power. And I love that you brought that up, because a lot of people might not know this or actually know it, but no one has ever put it in a perspective like that where they could be like, oh, I understand where he's coming from now.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, like, another Jedi power, you know, getting all these knowledge to these people, man.
Yeah.
And that's something I love about this. What we're doing is that I love the perspective of different people. Now, by you saying that, like, it makes me think of certain things differently, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe if I end up in a situation where I'm thinking negatively, I'm like, nah, you're allowing it. You're allowing it.
You're enabling it.
And I'll go back to this same conversation and what you said. So it's amazing that you're putting this out there and being real vulnerable to us.
Yeah. Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Yeah, no problem, man. That's what I'm here for. As a man, you know, we kind of feel like we have that macho, you know what I mean? We have to put on that persona, but
Yeah.
we, you know, I read this statistic, and it's very crazy. 75 either 75 or 76% of suicides is male, bro.
Damn, that's wild.
Male.
Jesus.
As men, bro.
Yeah.
And as men, that's a bad number. And
What?
it's a very stigma that we can't
Yeah.
continue to, you know,
And
be
with
there.
The problem, like with stigmas and shit, it prevents. This is the thing. I was gifted. I'm at a very young age of. I have a special gift. Sometimes I really don't give a fuck. I vibe with what I vibe with.
Yeah.
And if you don't vibe with, I don't fucking care. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
But when people, like an artist, if you put your heart and soul out into something,
Yeah.
and it's tender,
Yeah.
and you share it, and someone's like, "This shit's whack."
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
you're
put anybody down,
you're
yeah.
human. Your
Yeah.
initial reaction, fuck you. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, at least from my perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're putting it out there. But if there's a way to take constructive criticism and not be affected by it.
Yeah.
That's my personal voyage.
Yeah.
Like, how do we become ninja Ronins where we don't let XYZ externally
Yeah.
affect my internal?
Yeah.
How can I build a barrier or something where I can take, if there is any positive criticism in there, and discard the rest? Bruce Lee that shit. And let me take what I can use.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna put fuck all this other shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So that's why one of the negative things I always ask people,
Yeah.
how do you deal with negative? Because I'm gonna learn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna apply that to my own
Yeah,
field.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
And as men, I feel like we need that.
Yeah.
We need that. I feel like we deal with negativity a lot worse than women. I would say that you know, growing up in our culture as well, we're kind of taught at a young age, you know, don't be such a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, just don't. Why are you crying? You know?
Right.
And that's at a young age when you learn that. That's kind of pushing you further back. And you know, I was blessed with a father that was like, nah, you show your emotions, man.
Wow.
You show them.
That's
wow.
You show them. You know, even if you feel like people are gonna judge you, they're gonna laugh at you, they're gonna whatever. You're gonna feel better about it. At the end of the day, they're laughing at you because they don't know. They don't know how to do what you're doing.
And usually people, what they don't understand, they usually make fun of.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, wait a minute.
Or they won't accept it
Yes.
because what they don't understand, they can't accept.
And especially from a place where we come from.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, we talked about stigmas and shit, and how we're indoctrinated or we're kind of groomed to a certain
think
way.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to think a certain
be
way.
like, and the thing is, like, we're in an age where it's so in us that we don't even know that we're doing it sometimes.
Yes.
And we don't understand what's going on.
Yeah.
And then as you learn as a person and you start learning from other people, then you understand, like, man, I acted really fucked up or like whatever, you know. Yeah, so it's amazing to always reflect on oneself when somebody speaks, you know.
Oh yeah.
And that's why we always learn from each other.
Well, that's why we have these conversations. We break those fucking stigmas. And I don't even pay attention to it. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
It's
we
just never
create our
there.
own narrative.
Yes.
Well, men can't do. Well, who says I can't do this
Yeah,
and
who
that?
wrote
Like,
that?
who wrote that?
You know?
Hey, fuck that shit. I'm gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? I'm gonna follow my own drum.
And another thing, like you were saying, that the females are more into it. And what is it called?
I'm not touching that conversation, men versus women. I'm sorry, I'll back out right now.
But no, but I just want to point an example because women are more in tune with themselves.
Their feelings.
Because like the event we did with the bowling, with the bowl healing, who was mostly there?
Yeah,
it was all girls.
Yeah,
and just us.
Yeah.
And it's just, that says something. Like, there's something, like, there's probably men that saw that and they're like, I don't want to do that. I thought that was like a female thing or something like that.
Yeah.
And we need to change that perspective of certain things like yoga. A lot of people still see yoga as a female thing.
Nah, son.
No, it's not. Nah. That's therapy.
Hey, it's so crazy that you bring that up, bro. At my listening party, right?
Right.
At this previous Nightfall listening party, we're going through the night, but they're like, I'm on my computer or whatever, and this my boy walks through the door and he's like, "Hey, bro, this guy wants to talk to you." Right? So I look up and this guy's probably has to be like in his 60s, bro. Like like mid 60s, mid 70s, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Man, I was just passing by and I heard this music and it sounds really good, man."
Wow.
He's like, "Your homie at the door said that this is your music. This sounds really good, man." You know, and I'm like, and this is the first time, mind you, this is the first time anybody of that age area was like either listened to my music, and for two, critiqued it. You know, they were just like, "This is really
take
good."
The time out of his day to like, yo, I'm gonna tell you,
right?
And he was just walking by,
and the whole reason. So turns out he lives next door. He has a yoga studio upstairs, bro.
Oh, wow.
So he was literally I was taking a walk at night. He said,
Güerito?
yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he was a güerito. Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
When I left your thing, I was walking back to my car, and there was a couple people down the block playing some instruments.
No.
He grabbed somebody's guitar and started playing with them. And dude, these are like, you know, the people that hang around in Pilsen during those, like when it starts getting late, is the old school Mexicans that have been living there for years.
Yeah, oh yeah. They're
just there chilling, bro.
Yeah.
And they were playing some instruments, and he grabbed the instrument, started playing it, bro. Because I remember who he was. Dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that guy's amazing.
I got his information, everything, bro. He was like, "Hey, if he's like, when is the music coming out? La la la.
Oh,
if there's any way that I can support,
oh
wow." La, la, la. And yeah, bro. So that from that, like that night, I was just ecstatic, bro, because it's like you don't know, and that brings me to like, you don't know who you're gonna reach.
Yeah,
you don't. And I was just telling Voyager earlier. So when Daybreak came out, you know, so Ditto basically breaks down the analytics of everything. So Ditto is the distribution platform that I put my stuff out on. It breaks down all the analytics, like who's listening, where the stream's going to. Daybreak was actually streamed at the highest in Norway.
Wow.
Norway, bro. Like my music reached out there, and they were just rocking with it, bro. And it's
we
just
live in crazy times. That your music,
yes, bro. Like
here,
it made there,
yes.
and then people were just like, it was circulating in playlists.
They're probably putting in the nightclubs and shit.
That's what I'm hoping, man. They're just Norway nightclubs bumping.
You know what you should do? on your
imagine that.
Dope.
And even they might follow you on social media. Maybe you should put like, if anybody from Norway is here, hit me up.
Yeah,
I don't know what kind of connections that.
I imagine doing a tour out there, bro.
Yeah, man. That's wild.
Just
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it's so crazy to think that like how your music travels, but not only that, but it's like music is an international language.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, there's people out there that don't even speak English that listen to just nonstop American rap.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And that's how it reaches people, bro. So I'm grateful for that, bro. I really am.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about music, but I'm gonna use that yoga as one of my segues. So I'm not gonna drop the government. But how do you, as a human, not Sebastian Peace,
Yeah.
how do you, as a human, handle life, negativities, and what are a few of your outlets besides music? We touch base a lot, and I learned a lot. But I also want to know a few other things. What do you personally do to express yourself, let the pain out, anything?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's good. I'm a man of I have kids, so it's like watching them grow up is a really crazy feeling, especially nowadays. Like we live in such fast paced world where like I know the attention span is like just dwindling down because
Right.
you know what I mean.
That's
just
a whole
because
nother podcast.
yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like there's just so many outlets. I'm a faith driven man. I've always at a young age, my mom was always. I wasn't really like I wouldn't say like a religious kid, but my mom was always just like, God's watching out for you. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
just he's got a purpose for you. And I just remember having like a near death experience as a young kid and just like seeing everything like okay, God, you saved me from this. Like from now on, I just kind of have to do what you feel my life is being drawn to. So with this music stuff, I like I said, I wouldn't just like call myself just a completely religious crazy guy, but like I base my faith on love and seeing the good in people. Right now, I actually have like I do this men's group, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's like so we do it once a week, and it's like and all the men in like this group that I'm doing, they're all older than me. I'm the youngest guy in the group, and most of these guys, they're like retired. Some of them are like in their 70s. Some of them are married. Some of them are single. But it's like we literally sit down and we talk about life.
Wow, really?
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Like a powwow.
Yeah, kind of like a powwow. But it's
That's amazing.
it's faith driven. You know what I mean? Just because like we kind of talk about some things in the Bible, but at the same time, it's like I'm able to take things from their life and apply it to mine, and it's been tremendously helpful because it's like, don't get me wrong, like I love my homies, I love my guys, and we could sit and talk over a beer, but it's like, what insight can they give me that I can take, you know what I mean, and literally roll it out in my life, just because like we're kind of living the same pace life.
Right.
We're going through, I got some homies that don't have kids. I got some homies that do have kids. I got homies that are single. I got some homies that are married. But it's like, what can I take from that? And being in this group, being in this crew, it's like, bro, I applied a lot. And it's also helped me with seeing things. Like I even said the word intentional. It's also helped me being intentional because for a while, I just felt like my life, I was literally like, I felt like I was stuck in autopilot. Like I would just kind of coast through the days, just, just straight, not seeing anything, just tunnel vision life. But now, I wake up and I'm thankful for the day. I kiss my kids. I want to be with my kids more. I just kind of want to start the day more positive. You know what I mean? I'm being nicer to my wife. You know what I mean?
She's probably happy about that.
But it's like,
dope,
I don't see her as just like a partner. I see her as like somebody that's helping me out through this, through this life. And it's like looking at her like a life partner, not just a wife. And, just being more intentional with my family. Yeah, bro. And it's just like with that really put me in a perspective where it's like now I'm being very thankful for everything that's been given to me.
Wow. How'd you get into that group?
So
or did you find out about it?
So there's this church called Anthem. So me and my wife, we used to attend a church. Like we were on and off with the church, but like we got married at this church, and then when COVID hit, all the churches just went crazy.
Yeah,
like we don't, it was just like, we're gonna do church online. Just go on your phone and look us up on YouTube. And we were just like, nah. Well, it's this church in Hammond, and they're actually like thriving right now, man. They're having like a lot of multicultural people come in. They have their own like label right now. They got their own like team that's putting in like music and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So like
experience.
Yeah, it's a big experience, and my girl was able to bring her family in, and they love it. But so my friend that was at that previous church that we used to go to referred us to this church, and he was just like, look, man. And he was always the one that was just like, I understand, like a church is just a building, right? It's just like a building, like a gym, but it's what you take outside of that. You know what I mean?
I know he loved that one.
I'm telling. My man said, No, I'm being serious, and it's just like it's just a building. So people put so much faith into like, oh well, you don't go to church. It's so quick to point fingers, and that's where I draw the line at religion and being faithful. There's a line. You know what I mean? Like people can know God, right? And they'll be drawn to God, And you got people that are in church that know God, but still just ain't walking. You know what I mean? You got sinners in church,
Yes.
and you got people outside of the church that are doing what they're supposed to be doing, following God, but they don't need to go to church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They follow that line. They
Yeah.
you know, and that's all. Then that's why I say it also been stigmatized before, because I've had homies but like, yeah, man, I'm going to church. Oh, you going to church? What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you praising God now, bro? How you gonna be rapping? How you gonna be talking? Nah, bro.
Stop.
Stop.
Yeah, that's the same. That's the same indoctrination that prevents men from speaking their feelings.
Exactly.
That someone did that to him, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's like, nah. That's the whole fuck that shit.
Yeah.
If you feel that,
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
helps you,
Exactly.
yo, you should be proud of that. You
Oh.
should be proud to even tell your homies, like,
Yeah.
yo, hey, this is
Right.
helping me. But for some reason, we have it in us to, if it's weird or off or anything, we
Yeah.
usually poke fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't like that shit, man.
No, it shouldn't.
nah.
And but see, that's where you draw the line at who you could tell things to.
Yeah.
At the same time,
It
it's
sucks.
Like, it sucks,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's a hard pill to
But-
swallow.
exactly.
But you know,
Wow.
And a big thing about me is what I've noticed about us, man, too, is like we need accountability, bro.
Yeah.
We need somebody to kind of hold us accountable, and that's the biggest thing. Is like when you're struggling, you want to reach out to somebody. Hey, man, I'm
Yeah.
struggling. I'm going through this.
Yeah.
Can you do something for me? Can you help me out? Can you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can you just
Don't-
listen?
j-
Yeah, be
exactly.
there
If
for
you
me, man. Yeah.
sometimes all a man needs, bro, is to be listened to, bro. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we find a reason, we find an excuse to keep quiet.
I think growing up in the Toonami era and everything, just me and my homies, we would roast each other. That's just you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we would get baked and we would just go at it.
Right.
So we learned, be careful what you say around these guys, because if I open up to my homie, you know what I mean, and then let's say 2 months later, we're fucking smoking and he's drinking, and then we're roasting each other.
He's like,
and
"You
he
remember-"
said something like, "Yo, I said that in confidence."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then everyone gets more laughs and
Yes.
like, "You hurt me, motherfucker," you know.
Right.
So
Use that against
you.
Yes, we kind of learned to be like, I'm not saying shit.
Right. How to
Fuck you. Fuck you.
how to protect your energy around.
Yes. Yes.
But it's something that I want to point out too, because I am that kind of motherfucker. Somebody starts talking about church, I poke on it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, this, that. But
Yeah.
About to get
because,
haunted by a demon.
but,
motherfucker.
but because, like you said, there's people that go to church but don't walk the path.
No.
A lot of people pray God, but don't walk the path,
No,
bro. And
no.
I know who they are, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
By the way they are around people, by the way the way they treat each other,
Yeah.
or treat their woman or treat their kids.
Yeah.
I know you don't walk that path.
Yeah.
So I like to poke like at that image, because I hate when people when no intention uses the name of God, like in
Yes.
vain.
In vain, right.
In vain.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I hate that because, like I always tell people, like when it comes to that, like in a personal level, we grew up religious in,
Yeah.
in our
Oh, yeah.
neighborhoods, in our families, and a lot of times, a lot of people around us, growing us as kids, end up staying bad kids.
Yeah.
Because they had a Catholic mindset.
Exactly.
Where I'm going to hell already, so what
Yep.
am I going to do to be better?
Yep.
They're already stuck there in a way.
But it was almost fed to them, like force fed.
Yeah.
You know?
But because the person that taught him that
Yeah.
didn't walk with intention,
exactly.
with the real word of God.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you tell me this, but you're not that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that way, so that's why I love that you explain yourself,
Yeah.
and that you go to this group,
Yeah.
because now maybe people more accepting of God, the
Yeah.
Bible.
Yeah.
People are gonna willing to accept it more, because the way you brought it out, they're gonna hear it and be like, "Oh my God, I didn't really see it like that."
Yeah.
Again, going back to like us teaching them something new,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and where it's coming from, what it's doing to us. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that, bro.
Yeah, no problem,
Thank you so
man.
much.
in the same way, the way you painted me that picture, that group or your faith is another outlet.
Yeah.
Like music.
Yeah.
Different,
Right.
but similar. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You're putting something in, you're getting out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's opening other avenues. I don't see why we should be, like
Right.
certain ones, like if you were drinking and smoking and you're rapping, everyone's be like, yeah. As soon as you be like, and I rap about Jesus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, Kanye. You
Yes.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
And-
I think that's the stigma. That's how, you know what I mean? We
Yes.
used to roasting.
Right.
We're used to quick to point the flashlight elsewhere.
Yes.
Nah,
Yes.
man, I'm a fan of self-reflection.
Yes.
Instead of pointing there,
Yes.
I'm gonna point here
Yeah.
at me.
Yeah.
So I can get better.
Right.
Me. You
Right.
know what I mean? I'm
Internally.
not worried about you. I'm not worried about in a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But no. Me.
Yeah.
On that note, I'm gonna go back. No. Wait. No. I go back to the music.
Okay. Okay.
How do you, as a person and individual, better yourself as an artist, as your craft? How do you, all right, I want to add value to myself. I want to get better. What is that process like?
Constantly just like really learning, man. For me as an artist, the way I get better is failing at something. You know what I mean? It's really failing at something. It's really like a placebo effect. It's like almost, I'm trying to do something, but at the same time, I don't want to do something and thinking that if I mess up, that's it. I want to do it. I want to mess up. Maybe, hey, mess up 3 more times. But at that third time, I'm going to be like, all right, I kind of got a recipe, or I kind of got a feel of what I got to do the next time around.
Right.
And then also just kind of really, again, being intentional, just like I said, with this next album that's going to drop, it's a whole different sound. I kind of put myself in a position to where it's like, people are going to maybe see me as in a different light. They're going to see me as maybe a different person, hearing a different sound.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, when I make this music, bro, the thing that's in my side of my head is like, I have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. I have nothing to lose. When I release this music, I really have nothing to lose. I could go back to, doing my 9 to 5, but obviously this is something that I love doing.
Yeah.
And I want the tractions. I want it to take off. I want it I want it to have the glory that it's supposed to have. But, bro, my purpose on this life is not to just make music. My purpose in this life is to reach people.
And that's an outlet.
And that's the outlet.
That's
music
a
is what's
outlet.
reaching the people. You know what I mean? But if it's like, if it's not the music that's reaching it, then why can't I? Why can't I just get out there and reach the people? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm kind of using this music as a scapegoat to kind of help, excel my way to reach this people. But at the end of the day, bro, I really want to be a beacon of light. I really want to be I really want to just be somebody. I want to be there for people.
Right.
Like you were talking about Kid Cudi earlier. You know what I mean? About how much he means to you, and when he released music, and how much you listened to it, but how much it changed your life.
Right.
It changed your perspective about life.
Yes.
Just listening to those verses, or listening to that 3-4 minutes of a song, changed your whole outlook on life.
Right.
That's the beauty, bro. That's what every artist strives for.
He's a musical therapist.
Exactly.
He's a musical magician.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How words and music and ambiance and that story can, you can hear it.
Yeah.
And it gets inside your brain and it resonates with you for some reason.
Right.
And it could potentially change your life.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yes.
Because how many people Linkin Park, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To touch base, their fan base was amazing, but to touch base, every CD that came out was a little different.
Yes.
A little different.
Yeah.
A little different. And then towards the end, it's definitely not the first 2 or 3, and the fans, but this is their journey.
That's how you have to.
This is
evolve.
their expression.
Yes.
This is their moment, what they're feeling, you know what I mean? Like, wait. If you're fans, how you're going to get mad at the band for doing what the band does, explore and create and grow and learn.
Yes.
Yeah, so you doing that is pretty dope, man.
You always have to put a little bit of your pizzazz into another recipe. You know, when you get a cookbook, you open a cookbook, you see a recipe, right? You make it by the recipe, and it tastes good. But then you go, hey, what if I add a little bit more paprika? What if I add, you know what I mean? What if I add a little bit more, you know, just a bit,
add your flavor,
pinch
your
more
twist.
flavor into it. But it's my flavor.
Yes.
Now I created this recipe to be my own.
Yeah.
And that's just the beauty of creating, bro.
Wow.
And that's when somebody listens to something like, yep, Sebastian cooked this.
And we're consuming it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're consuming whatever you cooked up. And
Yeah.
it's pretty cool how that can affect. That's dope. So you said gym. We mentioned yoga. I'll touch base real quick.
Yeah.
For you and music and faith, that's the same what fitness has done for me.
Okay.
That was like a beacon that I stumbled across, and just it taught me a lot. It was my faja. It taught me discipline, hard work, and failure.
Yeah.
You need to fail. And if in any type of fitness or lifting or anything, failure is good. It's going to teach you a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
What you're capable of, what you can do, and what you need to get better at. If
go.
you want to go, if you want to do X, Y, and Z, you either going to do it or you can't. There's no really you can't really fake it.
Right.
So in fitness, I always say I love it as an outlet. Do you utilize fitness in your personal life? Be real with me.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, I'm a slacking man, bro. But see, that's the thing.
I appreciate the honesty,
I always tell
man.
myself like I'm gonna wake up and go for a jog.
Yes.
You know, and it's like, but it's crazy to think that like before, that's kind of where I got a lot of my ideas from. Was kind of being active. You know, like just kind of being in that solitude. Yeah. Solitude does a lot for the human mind, man.
Absolutely.
It really does. It could either harm you or it could help you.
Yes.
Just being alone with your own thoughts.
That's the balance of the force, though, right?
Absolutely. Yes. It really is. But to answer your question, I think I've been trying to be more intentional with the, you know, being like fit, not just being fit, but kind of just like having that getting that weight off of your chest, knowing that like, okay, I'm like, for instance, my family ain't the healthiest family. Yeah. Like I go from like my aunts and uncles, there's diabetes in there. You know what I mean? Like
if you think about it, man, if we had a fucking super dope alien scan thingy and we scanned our aliens, I mean we scanned our people, I'm pretty sure it's 80 fucking or 90% of our family, not my family included, everyone that we're negatively affected. We live in a food desert.
Yeah, we really do. We really do.
We don't have a lot of food health choices. Not like a Hyde Park or a South Loop where we have healthy choices.
Whole Foods or Mariano's on every other corner.
To eat healthier, it requires more.
Yes.
And people in our area, if we're working and kids and this and that, we sometimes don't have that luxury, financially or time wise, or no one ever taught us. Good. Yeah. And for me, it's an amazing fucking outlet that I stumbled across, and I wish everyone could find their own path to fitness. Yes. Not like I have to run 2 miles. I have to do whatever you find. I believe like art, like music. If you find an outlet in fitness, it can be cycling, jogging, whatever the fuck, lifting heavy weights and listening to fucking death metal, you know? It could be whatever.
Yeah.
I believe it's a huge positive mental outlet that many people, if they utilize, will unlock, like you said, multiple things in their brain that will help them in other aspects of life. Because like running or when you're isolated, if you're in the sauna, if you're swimming, you're by yourself. Yeah. Or if you're working out with the group environment, you get that group environment. Like, you're in the tribe.
Accountability.
So you feel the accountability. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be last. Yeah. I'm not going to, you're going to keep up with your homies, you know what I mean? And if you have a good positive group where no one really talks shit, like, I'm kind of tired. Make it your ass. Let's go, man. You know what I mean? But in a good way. Yeah. They push you to become better. Yes. They put steel sharpens steel.
Absolutely.
I always try to promote that and plant that in someone's mind. Please utilize any type of fitness. Yoga, the stigma for that, fuck that shit. Yo, go get baked. Go get baked. Go get baked. Yeah. And put on a fucking YouTube video of some yoga. and go do some yoga,
Yes.
and you're gonna feel amazing.
Yeah.
And you can be by yourself. So you're not, if you're worried about other people watching, judge, get that out of your head.
Yeah.
Everyone probably has that in the beginning.
Right.
If you find something that you enjoy, that can bring you so much joy. And that's one of those, how negativity spreads.
Yeah.
No, this is one of those things where positivity will spread across your life.
Right. Right.
And just if more people utilize that, I think it'll be, especially in our areas, because like you said, there's no food, there's no.
There's a food
If we
drought.
start doing that, that'll be another, just like the art movement, just like the music movement, just like all these bands and everything, that can be its own little renaissance as well.
Yes, and that's what I feel like Eastside is brewing right now, is a big renaissance. I mean, just to see the art take off the way that it did, especially with the meeting of the styles, that was
detail
from all over the world.
Shout out
Roman.
detail, man. Shout out Roman, bro. Like that was a big stamp that we needed. Not to say that it wasn't always there, but I feel like that was eye opening for people. Like, okay, the East Side, we got it. You know what I mean? Like we got it going on over here, and this is here to stay.
Amazing artists, amazing murals, and if you think about it, all those murals combined, if you were to pay for that, how much money is on those walls? How much money is on those walls that we considered trash and dirty, and the areas? No. We just added an equivalent of a Van Gogh
Absolutely.
in our area. We have another
Absolutely.
gem.
Yes.
And it's because of these individuals, like, yo, yes, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I love being around those creatives because
Yeah.
I see a lot of them in me, but
Yeah.
just for fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of similar, like, oh, I need to hang around you guys.
Yes.
Even though you do your own thing, you're on your own vibe.
Yeah.
No. There's so much I can learn from all you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And
Amazing, yeah.
Syncing it all in with the community.
Yes.
Because they do the vendors. We're there.
Yeah.
You know, and the community gets attracted by seeing the vendors, local people they know doing things. Those vendors are getting inspired, seeing the inspiration from the walls, from the people coming in, from the happiness. You see families happy, bro.
Yes.
The kids, the
Kids,
parents.
man.
Like, wow, what is, like, open up a whole different world
Yes.
within their world.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful experience.
It's
And I love what they
beautiful,
did.
man.
93 Studios, shout out.
Shout out, bro.
I want to do Pilsen. This was their 15-year anniversary for the Day of the Dead run.
Oh, nice.
Their community, they organize that so fucking beautifully. They pick out a beautiful route. You can see all the art,
Yeah.
all the local businesses, they're around. They have DJs around the whole path, and it's geared towards just come have fun. People, you don't have to run. If you
Right.
want to, go
Yeah.
ahead. You have your category here. You want to run. You know what I mean? You have time. But people are in full costume. There are
Nice.
kids. There's dogs. There's full dinosaur suits. We're like, whoa! It's a whole experience, you know.
Yeah.
And afterwards, they have local businesses, food, music, everything. And I'm like, we have enough talent. We do our own version of
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
And that's how you bring
Absolutely,
fitness
yes.
into the arts, into
Yes.
the
Community.
culture, into the
Yes.
community.
'Cause it's there, man.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yes.
Yeah, you take, again, we're talking about stigmas. There's a lot of stigma with fitness.
Yeah.
It's, I got to go run.
Yeah.
I got to go work out.
Yeah.
I got to go to the gym. Me, if you flip that and you look forward to it, we're actually like, I'm going to go improve myself.
Yes.
That's what it is. If we treat it a little differently, it helps so much.
Yeah.
It clears a lot of the cloudiness.
Yeah.
On scientific shit, there's a lot of shit that goes on in the brain that people put in pills.
Yes.
And it's antidepressants and this and that.
Serotonin and-
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you can do that,
Dopamine.
while walking,
Yes.
while running, while jogging,
Yeah.
shooting the shit with everybody,
Yeah.
you just got a free dose of some high grade medical shit that your body produced. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And there's the cumulative effect. If you continuously do that, and then you surround yourself with other people,
Yeah.
to me, the doors open up.
Yeah.
The doors open up, and it's not just fitness, it's everything.
Yeah.
Boom. So I always recommend.
Yeah.
So if we can do something like that'll be dope.
Yeah.
And I would love to have you. I mean, fuck it, let's get a performance
Let's
going.
get it,
You know what I
man.
mean? Like a whole event, and it's all local. And it's based on outlets,
Yes.
music, fitness, art,
Nature.
culture,
You
nature.
combine them
Oh, yeah.
all together, and that's dope that you're really an advocate for that, bro. Because we really need that, man. We really do, because it's
We don't have
say,
nothing. Man.
People
No
never
shit.
say it's never too late until it's too late. You know, I mean, there's like you were saying about like with the whole food drought thing. I was really stoked when Eastside Nutrition came along, and Hegwish Nutrition was there. They like popped up like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. That was a
Yeah.
testament, knowing that like there's people out here that care
Yeah.
about our community, that care about putting the health back into the community. And we as Eastside, we're often looked over.
Right.
We're definitely looked over.
Yeah.
You say Eastside is somebody else, like what are you talking about? Where? You mean the lake? You
Yeah.
guys are, that's
You
the
mean
way lakes are.
Indiana?
Yeah.
No.
Right, yeah. You mean Indiana?
No.
And it's crazy because I tell people like, oh, the East Side. Oh, I never heard of it. Like, oh, I live by the Horseshoe.
Alpha
Oh, I know
Beta.
where the Horseshoe's at.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know where the Horseshoe's at, but you don't know where we are. Like, what? Yeah. It's just the craziest feeling. But we're on our way. We're really on our way. We're just by everything that we're doing, everything that we're pushing, the awareness, the music, the arts, the nature, the clothes, from what you wear. And I've always gotten, it's funny because I wear your shirt a lot.
Thank you, bro.
Pause and experience shirt. I wore that the other day, and somebody came up to me. They were like, "Man, that's a really nice shirt. Where'd you get that?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, honestly, almost everything that I wear is my homies.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
dope,
Like these
bro.
are my
Yeah,
these.
that's dope.
A person that made this, I can tell you who they are.
Yeah.
I can tell you where they're from.
Yeah.
I can tell you what they like.
Yeah.
And it means something to me.
That's dope.
Slackers.
You know, yeah. Shout out Dave. Shout out everybody out there, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And it's a beautiful feeling, man. It really is. It's a beautiful feeling knowing that I'm able to support you, what you want to do, what you love to do.
Right.
And at the same time, we're able to sit at the table, converse, but also advocating for what we love.
Yeah.
And putting it out to the world.
Yeah.
And it all connecting.
Yeah.
Fitness, nature, music. It's all some kind of form of therapy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're using it in a positive form.
Yes.
And just teaching. And we're just giving out lessons right now, pretty much, you know?
Yeah.
To go back to the food desert thing, the reason why when I stumbled into fitness, obviously nutrition's part of that comes in. But what I learned is people in our area, if you're growing up in a certain area, you don't have access to much.
Yeah.
What do we have access to? Usually, it's the lowest of the low, the lowest qualities, the bulk, the poo-poo caca. You know what I mean? And it sucks because from what I learned, what we consume affects us.
Oh yeah.
Affects our mind. If someone has, a shitty diet, I hate to use those words, if someone eats fast food daily, that really affects your brain on some serious, it alters how you think.
Yeah.
It alters how you process information.
Yeah.
It messes with our beautiful design machines that we have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My body's like to me, it's your own Ferrari.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah.
invest in it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put cheap crap oil
You ain't gonna put cheap gas
in a
yeah.
Lambo.
Yeah.
Lambo doors.
Right.
Nice segue. Put the music on. You know what I mean? But if you have you're a fucking rapper, you make and you go to the fucking gas station, you put 87 in a Lambo. What's gonna happen? You put some Walmart oil in the Lambo. What the fuck's gonna happen? That's not gonna work.
Nah, bro.
It might work for a little bit. But like our
The
bodies,
after-fact is
what we
worse.
put in, from my experience, my over 10,000 hours in that field, that affects us,
Yes.
man. That affects our cylinders, how we process information. And if we're trying to do something and we have blocks, we're not utilizing ourselves to our fullest potentials.
Yeah.
No, if we can do something, the littlest things is maybe not eating, go full vegan or anything, but just switching up, making a little bit more conscious decisions.
Yeah.
That can affect us in a positive way.
Yeah.
That can make us like seeing your kids in the morning, eating better. You wake up energized. You're not tired. You have this vigor about yourself.
Yeah.
And then from what I experienced, when people are more like that, that energy is infectious.
Yes.
When you're just like being negative, this fucking day sucks. We all experience those people that are constantly negative.
Right.
That gets sticky. That sticks to us. Like, no. But being the opposite, when you're firing on all cylinders, that's infectious too.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we need to spread more of that. That's why I love that.
Yeah. Oh, man. I love that, bro.
Infectious,
I
and
love
then
that.
it also protects.
Yes.
Like you infect people in a positive way, and you protect yourself from people who don't think like that.
Yeah.
Because those people are going to get away from you.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, oh, I can't be around that.
Well, 100 years ago, we used to be, we have to run away from like cats and tigers and lions and bears. Oh, my. Now we don't have to worry about that shit. So we're in a different world.
Right.
So we lose fitness.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it too. There's evolution with everything, man.
Hey.
There's, everything's evolving in a way to where it's user friendly. You know what I mean? I mean, just you got you kind of had the bike, and then the bike evolved into I'm talking about the workout bike. You got the bike, and then it evolved to what, Peloton?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's like, who knows what's the next invention going to be? And it's always going to be user friendly. But I love the fact that what he was saying is like, you have to have this positivity. You have to have this infectious positivity to you. It's not easy. It's not easy waking up every day and singing the sunshine song, and you know what I mean. Everything's all great and gravy. It's not easy.
Good morning, sunshine.
It's not. It's
not.
never gonna be easy.
No.
But it also has to be your job to put on that armor, to put on that coat of positivity and walk out that door and wear it with honor, man. You know what I mean? Because like he said, it's a ripple effect. You're gonna affect people that you come across.
Absolutely.
And if people that you've never met a day in your life, they're gonna come across you, meet you for the first time, and be like, you know what? That guy that I met, man, he's really cool. He's really positive. He said some things today that I'm gonna apply to my life tomorrow.
Right.
And it's like, bro, you don't know. You never know.
And that's what I love about that when people bring up like the pause and experience, like my whole thing is about that message to pause and experience.
Yeah.
So if somebody compliments it in a way, they're looking at the phrase kind of like like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then you kind of explain it, and they're like, oh, well, wow.
Yeah.
And now they change their mind, like, you know what? Maybe I should go for a hike or something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then actually pause and experience.
Right.
And so I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a really good slogan too, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's really, really good. Yeah. It's self-awareness.
Yeah.
That's what I love. It's self-awareness all the time. That's what I go for.
I like that you said putting on a shield. I think I stumbled across that, and fitness has been my shield. It's saved my life.
Yeah.
It's given me direction, and I think one of my jobs or purposes is helping others to find their own shield.
Yeah.
Put it on, son. You're doing the same thing musically. You know what I mean? Voyager, through his art and nature and visuals. Like, it's all right, man. I think we are learning how to put what the fuck is armor in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like, we can protect ourselves from this shit.
Exactly, right.
And then, like, okay, let me see how this fits.
Yes.
And I think it's a beacon.
Yeah.
When we're positive and confident, like, man, people come and like, all right, son, I think what we're learning how to do is now help other people find their armor and put it on. Like, go find your own armor. Just you know what I mean? Which is pretty dope, man.
And wear it with pride, man.
Wear it with pride. Whatever it is, your vibe, whatever, go hard. Send your Voyager.
Well,
I want to nominate. I don't know what the time is, but how I have an idea for an outro. I'm gonna nominate a freestyle. But if you want to put some music on for him, whatever. I don't want to put you on the spot though.
Okay.
But I heard you. I'm a segueing this really nasty. I forgot where I was at, and we were in a circle.
Yeah.
And
93 Studios.
were we?
Of course we
That's
were.
when Nicholas. Shout out
yeah.
to.
Shout out
yeah.
Whiskey,
Yeah,
bro.
Whiskey.
Oh yeah.
Shout
He
out
was-
Whiskey.
Once they start freestyling,
Cortez
oh shit.
too was freestyling.
I learned that day. Cortez knows how to freestyle,
Certainly.
and I
does.
said, "Oh shit!"
Certainly does.
And then Nick, I'm like, "Oh yes," and then I heard you, and I said, "Oh,
Fuck.
no offense to them, no offense to either of them, but I said, oh, that's a different level. That's a little different. I can feel the me, Wu-Tang, Nas,
yeah.
lyrical beat, yeah, dope. But tell me a story. I want a lyric. I want something. And you off the top of the dome you were spitting
On some
punchline,
Biggie
son.
shit, bro.
No, and to me you have to have a quick brain to do that. Because on the spot, you're pointing, hey, you got a fucking sweater, you got this, that. On the spot, you're telling a story, and you're making it rhyme, and you're putting energy into it.
Yeah.
And that's, oh shit. So I nominate that. We'll figure out an outro for this and everything, but that's my nominee.
Okay.
So Voyager, whatever you want to do.
Hey, I'm a rapper. I can't.
yeah.
I can't say that I can't rap. You know what I mean? I can't just be like, dog.
I have a song kind of queued up.
Let's get
However,
it, bro.
whatever you
Come
want to
on,
do.
man.
Yeah, we can put a song on and do
Unless
that.
you got more questions. An idea popped up and I wanted to say that. But if you have, go ahead, man.
What would be like your last statement to any listener?
Oh man. Make sure you stream Nightfall when it comes out.
Yes. You heard that?
He's working.
Nah, man. Nah,
Where
I'm
can we
trolling.
get your music?
Yeah. So I'm trolling, but
No, where can we get your music? For real?
no. So I'm on all platforms, man. Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you listen to music, I'm there. So
Instagram, Facebook. What's
you
your
could,
name?
my Instagram, Sebastian Peace. I don't have a Facebook. I haven't had a Facebook in a long time. And I try to say it's not a tool for me, but I just haven't had it. I'm on Twitter. Follow me at Sebastian Peace _9. Honestly, I anybody that meets me for the first time, I just want to. I want to thank you, especially my listeners, especially people that have been tuning in for some time since I've been putting out music for the past almost 2 years. I appreciate every one of you guys. I appreciate people that are old listeners, people that are new listeners, people that take their time to message me and DM me, hey man, I just listened to this song and it was dope. I just want everybody to know that I'm rooting for you just as much as you're rooting for me. Like I said, we're on this world, we're on this earth for a reason. Everybody has a purpose, and that purpose you may not see now, but maybe tomorrow you'll be able to see that purpose. But Nightfall coming out soon. Once I get these sample clearance, I appreciate everybody who's been waiting for it. I was initially supposed to drop it on Halloween. It got pushed back. It wasn't my fault. Distributors and sample clearances are a pain in my ass right now, but
We're doing this shit legally.
yeah, we're all trying to do it legally, and I just don't have a lawyer for all this stuff. So, but yeah, so it's coming out soon. If you really feel like you want to work, let's link, let's connect. Hit me up, man. I'm always open to collab. Shout out Mass Attack.
I need a mixtape from you guys.
Man, it's there. It's there. It just hasn't. We haven't really put it together, more or less. So me and Mass probably got at least like, I don't know, 17, 18 songs together right now. But the thing that he put out, that Where Were You, go stream that too, man. Stream that Where Were You, Mass Attack. Mass is coming out with an album soon. I will be on the album.
Dope.
He's gonna have a phenomenal album. Hopefully his release party is gonna be off the chains too, which I know it will be. But yeah, man. Just my last words to anybody listening right now: believe in yourself. Follow your heart. I know as cliche as that sounds, make sure you follow your heart. Make sure you follow what you really truly love to do. You don't want to wake up tomorrow with no doubts or what ifs or anything like that. You really want to be intentional right now as life is, and look yourself in the mirror and tell you're beautiful 5 times a day, man.
Ooh,
5 times words of affirmation, dog.
I love that.
You got to do that. And hey, you know what? And I was going to tell you this too. It's a crazy story. I read. Me and my wife actually recently came about this book. It's called The 5 Love Languages, bro.
Oh yeah, you told me about this. Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did tell you about that, man.
And your wife, both
yes, yes, and not just like even if like you're a single person listening right now, read that book, dog. It talks about your love languages from when you were a child. You know what I mean? And how you were as an infant and then growing up as an adolescent. It's a really dope book. It just shows you a lot of self-love. And I'm really an advocate for that. So that, yeah, if you listen right now, man, go read The 5 Love Languages. It's going to change your life. It's going to change how you look at people. It's going to change your whole perspective about life.
Wow.
And, yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me up on this podcast,
Appreciate you,
bro.
man. Letting us dive into your world,
Man,
and sharing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
it could be difficult to share. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as we're learning, when we share more, we get back.
Yeah.
In many different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We give out and it comes back to us in a different way, shape, or form.
Circle of life. Thank you, bro. Thank you for opening up.
Thank you, man. El
Generally,
Dolor.
Hey! All right, man.
And then so everybody, thank you for listening. This is Por el Dolor podcast. We will when this comes out, I'm gonna tag the book he referenced.
Yes.
So when you listen and you're trying to think about that book, it'll be referenced on there. There'll be a link to it. Thank you, stream Mass Attack. Stream Sebastian Peace.
Yes.
Thank you all, everybody, for the love. And
Go grab a shirt.
Grab a shirt.
Grab a shirt. Grab
Voyager
a Por el Dolor
783.
shirt, man. Come on.
And thank you, everybody. And stick around for the post scene. We're going to surprise you with a little gift from
Happy birthday, Shape.
Sebastian Peace. Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
Shape.
Happy birthday, Shapeless.
Yo!
Shout out. All right. Goodbye. You? No? Oh. Wait.
Okay. Turn it up a little bit. Or like, put up the volume in the speaker. Is it high? There you go. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Look. Hey, yo, my words run deeper than my pocket did for lunch. From a habitat, I batter rap 40 ounces in blunts. Deep dish, pizza, chicken wing, public transportation. The raps I receive emancipation. Yo, I used to get teased like you wouldn't believe. Black kids call me white just because I could read. And white kids call me strange cause my last name. Now they say my rhymes flame. It's funny how times change. Money makes the world go round. Also make your go down. Turns a snake frown upside down. Look. And I be grinding just to keep the grind alive. I be balling like Michael did down in 95. I got some family, but they really not alive. Look the eyes, you gon' see a smile. Try to visualize, look. Tupac, this Californication. I'm not just fornication with some Lenny Nation. Look, and I'm coming from the east side. Sebastian coming through the peace sign. You know I'm dropping nightfall, you gon' need to hear it now. You gon' need a hearing aids to hear the sound. Look, 4-5, but a glide, keep the grind. Hey, yeah. Shout out Voyager. Shout out Jedi. About to smoke up. I need some red eye.
Yes. Yes.